Elia, it's been a long time I wanted to talk with you about this film. You remember when I was editing, towards the end of the editing I called you, you were in Beirut, and I don't know if you felt the panic in my voice.
I did.
Because the film was almost finished, and I suddenly felt real doubts. It's not the usual questions that we ask ourselves at the end of an editing, you know, like many times you feel you have to cut 10 minutes, so you don't know which minutes, so you have a problem with the beginning or with the end. No, it was the whole film suddenly, which appeared to me as something very strange. And I thought maybe I was mistaken from the beginning. Maybe it's very boring. Maybe nobody would understand. Maybe it's so strange. Nobody makes films like this. And I needed an eye. And it was clear for me that it should be your eyes. I don't know exactly why. I can try to think about it, but it had to be you, and not because you are Palestinian, not because you know the place and you know the wall, and okay, that's better, but as a filmmaker, because of your cinema. And it's strange because you don't make documentaries.
No. Yes, but I think there are 2 points maybe why me, I'm not sure. It could have been another me. But
by the way, you didn't come.
No, I know. I wish I did, in fact. Not because of the film, but because, in fact, I at this moment I was wasting quite a bit of time and not writing anything about my script. And it would have been an inspiration. However, my explanation for this, but you have to talk about it, and you have to tell me if it's a true guess, is that maybe it was a kind of a sort of rupture from your previous films in some sort of aesthetical way. And I think that the limitations that previously had been imposed on you vis-a-vis dealing with television, suddenly you were faced with all the possibilities, and therefore with a tremendous amount of challenge and limitations. And I think having plunged into a cinematic film that does not give as much information as it gives imagery and cinematographic information, which are up for, let's say, a multiple of infinite forms of interpretations. And I think this puts you maybe at this moment in a form of dislocation. What it is you needed to do, is this the right way? And there is no right way. Maybe that shift between television to cinema, from maybe slightly more fast-cutting to, in fact, quite long takes. And the fact that it's the wall. I mean, maybe I was thinking that the immensity of the subject and what it represents versus the fact that you're heading and rupturing from television into a cinematic language faced you with a major challenge. Could this be one of the reasons?
Yes, that's of course I didn't want. That's the reason why I wouldn't have called one of my colleagues from the television work, because I could expect then that one of those friends, even if very talented, would have told me what I didn't want to hear about, like why you didn't put a map. Why don't you explain to us on which side we are, and you don't give figures and information and things like that. This I didn't want to hear, and there was too much of a risk that somebody coming from television, this is what he would say. This, I solved this problem already. I couldn't do it, it was too late.